Hey guys, it's day 88 of the New Testament in 90 days. Today we're looking at Revelation chapter 17 and 18. There is a lot going on here, and if I can be quite frank, I don't really understand most of it. So, excuse me, let me get this. I got some crazy hair. Can we just acknowledge that? Anyway, okay, there's a lot happening here. I don't understand it. I looked up some information and some commentary. I read through this like multiple times. Okay, God, what does this all mean? I read some commentaries. I was like, okay, that's what that means? Is that what that means? I don't really quite understand it. There's potentially some like political powers and partnerships between political powers and nations and going to war and yada yada. Okay. Not a clue. I don't really quite understand it. The crazy thing is, do you remember when Jesus, like, we talked about this in the Gospels, he would like use parables and people wouldn't understand what he was saying, and sometimes he would clarify. He'd be like, oh, what I meant by this parable was yada, yada, yada. And he'd explain it and we'd all go, oh, that's what that means. Clarification. This is great. So what happens is an angel talks to John and shows him some things. And John must look bewildered because the angel says, why are you so amazed? I'll tell you the mystery of this woman and of the beast and the 7 heads and 10 horns on which she sits. That kind of gives you an explanation of how chapter 17 starts. And then he goes on to explain it. And it's just as confusing as the actual thing that he saw. It's like, it's unlike Jesus who gave clarification and we all go, oh, when this angel gives clarification, it's like, what does that mean? To me, it feels like zero help, which is unfortunate. And so there's two little tiny takeaways from reading through this over and over and over that I want to share with you. The first one is the takeaway from the entirety of Revelation, and that's this. So all of these people and this woman, and there's a beast and 7 horns, which represent kingdom, or 10 horns, 7 horns? 10 horns, I'm sorry. He says 10 horns, they're 10 kings who have not yet risen to power. Okay, all of these people, they band together and go to war against the Lamb. Uppercase L, hence, that means Jesus. It says, but the Lamb will defeat them because he is Lord of all lords and King of all kings, and his called and chosen and faithful ones will be with him. So if we take nothing else away from the confusion of chapter 17 and 18, it's that Jesus is Lord of lords and King of kings, and he's the winner, chicken dinner, and his called and chosen and faithful ones, the followers, the ones who truly love and want to follow Jesus, will be with him. We have nothing to worry about. Here's the other takeaway for me. I was reading and I was like, God, I need something to say to these people today. Like, I can't just shoot a video that says, hey, Revelation chapter 17, 18 doesn't make sense. Have a great day. Like, I have to have something to say. So I was kind of praying and I was waiting, and all of a sudden I thought about Matthew 13. And this is what it says. So again, going back to this whole idea of like Jesus would speak in parables and people wouldn't understand. Well, Jesus was out, speaking in parables, and his disciples come to him and they ask him, why do you use parables when you talk to people? I think that's like the question of why in Revelation, why can't you just spell it out? Tell us who to look for and what to see and what, So they're asking the same question. Why are you speaking in parables? Just speak plainly. And this is Jesus's reply. You are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but others are not. To those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given, and they will have an abundance of knowledge. But for those who are not listening, even what little understanding they have will be taken away from them. That is why I use parables. And I just was thinking about my own experience with the Bible. And, I grew up in church, so I kind of knew like some major Bible stories. But when I started reading the Bible for myself, there was a lot of it that I would read and I'd be like really confused about. Whether it'd be like, I don't even understand what this is saying, or I'd be like confused about why it would say certain things. And what I have found personally is when I read the Bible to understand. Like when I really have a desire to learn more about Jesus and to understand more, he gives me understanding. It doesn't all come in one big wave. It's like I'll be reading something that I've read 1,000,000 times, and all of a sudden I'll read it the 1,000,001st time, and it's almost like a blinder comes off my eyes, and I'm like, I've read this so many times. How am I just understanding this? And it's like a gift. It's like a gift from God that he continues to give little bits of understanding here and here. Now, I don't know if I will, this side of heaven, ever understand what Revelation 17 and 18 actually means, to where I could say, this is what this means exactly. But the beautiful thing is, I know who does understand it. I know the one who wrote it. And he is so good that even though I don't understand everything in this Bible, I can still trust him. And so I just want to encourage you, like if you are someone who maybe you have been reading the Bible and it just gets so defeating because you don't understand what it means, just keep at it. Because one day you'll read something and all of a sudden that's going to happen to you, where it's like, oh my gosh, I get it. And this thing, what Jesus says, to those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given, and they will have an abundance of knowledge. That will be true for you. If you are somebody who just wants to dismiss everything in the Bible because it sounds like a bunch of hullabaloo, or because you've met Christians before and they are not the types of people that you want to associate with, so you just throw their Bible out too, I want to encourage you to not give up. Like, give the Bible another chance. Give Jesus a solid chance. And don't just do it like, okay, God, if you really want to show me who you are, I guess do it right now. No, like, have a soft heart for the Bible, for Jesus, for the things of God. And I promise you that if you are listening and you have an ear attuned towards God, he will help you to understand. It might not be all of it, might not all be all at once, but it will happen because he is good and he's faithful and he wants to have a relationship with. He wants us to understand, but it's like, do you really care? I think that's why he does it, to see if we really care, if we really want it. So anyway, that's what I want to share with you from Revelation chapter 17 and 18. That might not be what you were looking for, but that's what I have for you today. So if you'd like to chat about anything I shared today, I would love to have a conversation with you as always. So feel free to leave a comment on the video or shoot me a private message. And if I don't hear from you today, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.